Oh.
Too many ladies interested now. Second, when he's wearing those sunglasses, he looks like George Clooney. I mean, the Greek version of George Clooney, and from far away. Still, there is something. There is something. You will see that when you exit the bus, look back to see how cute he is. And remember, he's single, ladies. Now that you know all that, let's say Kalimera, Nikos. You see, he has the right energy too. Now guys, we're still missing two people. They told me that they would be brought to us in 2 minutes on the way to the first stop. So probably we're going to stop in 2 minutes and they should be there. Let me tell you already though what we're going to do today. Because we have several stops and probably you don't remember all of them. The first thing we're going to do is the mountain top, the highest mountain of Santorini. It's going to be a quick stop for you to take some photographs. After that, we go to the village of Embori, one of the oldest of Santorini. And finally, around 12:30, 12:40, we should be in Akrotiri for the archaeological site that you will get to visit with Mr. Nikos, one of the most experienced guys working at the site. He's been doing visits for over 30, I think 35 years now, so he's one of the best. After all these stops, basically the most difficult stops of the day, we go straight to the beach, Black Sand Beach off Perisa. That's where you will have some free time if you want to go for lunch. And when we meet again this afternoon, after lunch, I'm taking you for wine. Should we start with wine then? I wish, but I cannot change the order. We have a specific time to be in Akrotiri. But the last stop of the day tour with me is going to be wine. You are going to taste 3 wines from Santorini, a white wine, a red wine, a dessert wine. After all these stops together, probably around 5 o'clock, it will be the end of the day tour with me, the end of part number 1 of your ticket with this company. Then there is part number 2. Part number 2 is a round trip transfer. You will do with Nikos, and he will take you to Oia. It's written Oia, but we say Ia here in Greece. It's the famous town you see in the postcards with the sunset, the blue domes. So it's free time for you over there, guys. You don't need to follow the group anymore. You have a fantastic time. And after the sunset, at the time I will tell you later on, you will be back on the bus and you will be dropped off at the different spots where you were picked up from. That's how the day is going to be. So day tour on the one hand, and then round trip transfer for free time and sunset in Oia Ia. Do you like the program?
Yes.
Now you see why you need the energy.
Yes.
It's going to be a long day, even though it's not summer anymore, it's fall. It means that the sunset is earlier and earlier. Today it's a few minutes before 7 o'clock. So around 8 o'clock, 8:30, most of you will already be back at the spot where you were picked up from in the morning. So now that we go towards the mountain, let me tell you just 2 or 3 more things so that everybody is on the same page. The bus is not full today, but it's almost full. If you want to keep the same seats from now on, please do. That is not an issue. However, leave something on your seat when you get off the bus. This way you remember where you sit, and the other passengers will know which seats are taken and will avoid what I've seen way too many times over the years. Blood and war. Just for a seat, guys. There's no need. You're on holidays. Don't worry about that. You want to keep the seat from now on, just leave something on your seat and that's it. Also, we need to keep the bus clean for all of you during the day. We're going to spend some time on this bus, so please, no food on board, no drinks either. Have plenty of water, stay hydrated during the day, but no other drinks and no food. Those are the basic things we all need to know so that we can have a great time. Now guys, we are going to stop in a few seconds to wait for the other 2 people, so if you don't mind, I would like to start the day tour when I have the entire group, okay? So just a few more minutes of your patience, and when those 2 people come, we start all together and we go to the mountain top for the view. fare il netto party, eh? Accendi i due condizionati.
Đây nhà thờ nhiều ha.
Nói 7 người là có một nhà thờ.
Vậy à?
Tinh thần dân hiến của cao.
Ừ.
Đây là nhà nước bỏ tiền ra để cho con
Cái nó làm nhà thờ có chút xíu á. Đây đa số thành phố du lịch ha. Xây nhà
So
trắng.
guys, the two people are not here yet, so we are going to go up the mountain for the pictures, and hopefully on the way down they will be here. So it is time to start officially this day tour. And the first thing I wanted to tell you about is related to the fact that Santorini is not one island like most people think. Santorini is considered a small archipelago, and it's composed of two islands which are inhabited. We are on the main one. That's where most of us live. We are officially 15,500 permanent residents, and officially around 20,000 permanent residents. And on the other side, there is a smaller island. We call it Firasian. It is inhabited as well by about 250 people, and it's the most quiet part of the archipelago. It's the part most of you do not visit, and I think I know why. You are afraid of the stairs. Because the boats that do the volcano tour, they stop at Firasian Island. But when you get there, you see the taverns, you smell the food, and then you see the stairs, about 300 steep steps to reach the first village, and the choice is made. You want to stay at the taverns to eat, and you don't go up the stairs. So that's the only reason why that part of the archipelago is very quiet. It's basically Santorini before the development of the tourism industry. And then in between the two islands, there's 3 islets. One of them is just a tiny rock in the south. We call it Aspronosin, which means the whitish island, because it is indeed whitish, not inhabited. And next to each other, pretty much in the center of the caldera, there's the volcanic islets. Did you do the boat tour, the volcano tour? Are you considering doing it? Alright, so if you do that, you are going to visit those islets. The smallest, called Pagliacameli, that's where there are the hot springs, or I would rather say not so hot springs, because they are not really hot. There's like 5 degrees difference, to be honest with you. And the boats are not going until the hot springs. They stop before because the water is too shallow, so you need to be a good swimmer. You have to jump off the boat and swim for like 30 to 50 meters to reach the hot springs. For those of you that want to do it, guys, no jewelry, ladies, no jewelry, and don't take with you an expensive bathing suit, especially if it's white, because you are going to use it once only. So take something old, much better, because of the mud and the sulfur in the water. Sometimes then it's not coming off, so you are going to ruin your expensive bathing suit. And then the boat is stopping at the other volcanic islet called Neacameni, and that's the one you can visit with a guide, usually with you on the boat. You have to hike for about 30 minutes to reach the top, and you see the crater, and usually they take you to 1 or 2 different spots where you can see and smell the fumaroles, because the volcano is still considered active. The last eruption was in 1950, so not so long ago, but it was a minor one, no big consequences for us. So those 2 guys, to be clear, they represent the dome of the current volcano, and because it's active, it's growing every year in height and in width. The magma chambers are located under the visible parts, the tip of the iceberg, let's say, and they are located 2 to 4 kilometers under the visible part. So this is extremely deep. So all this is the small archipelago of Santorini. And in a few more seconds, after the next turn, we are going to see all of it, the entire archipelago from south to north, and I will tell you where to look. But in the meantime, if you look on your right, I'm sure that you have noticed a lot of terraces. There's a lot of terraces in Santorini, and all of them are man-made. They are from the time when most people were still farmers, and they were cultivating a lot of different things on the mountain slopes. For example, tomatoes or even vines. They were basically making them to prevent soil erosion. It was the best way for you to be able to cultivate something in Santorini. And now, after the turn, please look on your left. The first thing you are going to see is the south of the main island, the south tip. That's the Acrotiri region. That's where we go for the archaeological site later on. On the left, because the weather allows it, we can see 2 islands that don't belong to Santorini. They are called the Christiana Islands. They are not inhabited at the moment. And further right, you see the tiny rock, the one we call the whitish rock, the whitish island. You can tell why. It has a layer of pumice that is whitish. And after the trees, you will see the 2 volcanic islets next to each other. We'll see them from above. So look now, guys, after the trees, we see the 2 volcanic islets. There they are. And behind them is the island of Tiasia, and you can clearly see the steps, the flight of stairs, the 300 steps nobody wants to do. That's the village of Manolas. And now in the last turn, you will see the entire archipelago, and that includes the north tip. The lowest white buildings on the cliffside, that's Ola, Ia, where you go later on for your free time and the sunset. So all of this is beautiful Santorini. And now we made it to the mountain top. This is the highest mountain, by the way, in Santorini, 567 meters high. We are going to stay 10 to 15 minutes. I repeat, 10 to 15 minutes for you to take some nice photographs. If you need my help with the pictures, guys, don't hesitate. Come to me anytime. Or if you have any questions during the day, ask me all the questions you want. That's what I'm here for with you. Afraid of heights, you might want to close your eyes now.